China is the second biggest economy in the world and has become the largest energy consumer in 2011. China is the largest coal-producing and consuming country. However, the demand for coal started to fall in 2014, and coal prices had declined as much as 75% since 2011. As a result, more than 90% of the coal-producing companies in China are losing money, and overcapacity is a major issue for the coal industry in China. In February this year, the State Council of PRC issues its opinions on how to resolve the overcapacity of the local coal industry. Feng Wei has immediately formed a special team of expertise to digest the opinions, analyze its potential impacts, and predict how this might affect the local and international coal markets. We look at the current coal capacities, production rates, and cost, re-examines the effect of the opinions on these parameters, and produce an in-depth study report. These sub-presentations highlight some of the key findings which are concluded in our study report, and I hope it will be useful to you. This presentation has 4 sections. Firstly, we will try to understand the State Council's opinions and figure out how this will affect those Zhongbi enterprise. We also predict how it will change the local market if the opinion is executed as stated. We shall then provide our views on the execution. A zombie enterprise is defined as a company which continues to operate even though it is technically insolvent or near bankruptcy. In China, most of these zombie enterprises are state-owned and they depend on the banks to support their life. They are the burden of the country, but also they carry other social responsibilities. The State Council's opinions encourage this zombie enterprise to exit by providing them with different kinds of subsidies. As a result, we believe a significant amount of this company will close down. However, the local bank, which has been the main supporter of these companies, is likely to be the biggest victim. Also, our estimation of the production capacity from these closed or semi-closed companies has already reached 1 billion tons per annum. The opinion recommends a strict control on productions. That means every coal mine cannot produce more than what is approved officially. At today's price level, most overproducing mines are those with low production cost. Therefore, a large amount of low-cost capacity will be forced to exit the market. The opinion also suggests a reduction on the number of working days from 330 to 276 per year. This will further reduce coal output. It is more likely that private coal company will exit more than the state-owned enterprise because of the subsidies and support provided by the government. Therefore, the market share for state-owned enterprise will increase. With the closure of low-cost mine and reduction on output, the production cost will go up sharply in China. As a result, the coal price will increase quickly. This will make the import coal more competitive as their production costs remain at current level. When the opinion is implemented, its interpretations, speed and depth of executions are likely to be affected by the local and industry authorities. State-owned enterprises, which are overproducing now, will be the main resistant when the opinion is enforced, as it will increase their production costs, reduce their profit if any, or affect their market share. We think the reduction on number of working days in order to cut production is neither scientific nor reasonable. Shortage of resources and high prices may not necessarily help the Chinese economies to recover. In this second section, we shall examine the impact of the opinions on coal production. We shall look at how will the total capacity and production be changed if mines are closed as stated. We then study the capacity and production level on those overproducing mines. The reduction on number of working days will definitely change the coal output. We shall provide our estimation here. At the end, we will provide our forecast of the China coal production for this year. The State Council's opinions suggest to close down certain type of mine in order to cut productions. In this table, we list down the total capacity of these mines in the second column. Many of these mines has already cut their capacity before the opinion is issued due to bad market conditions. Therefore, the capacity to be cut after the opinions are much less and are listed in the fourth column here. These are the real cuts which will affect the production level. We can see that the total original capacity of all these mines is about 2.4 billion tons per year. However, 620 million tons has already been cut before the opinions. Therefore, less than 500 million tons will need to be reduced, and this makes a total capacity loss of 1.112 billion tons. However, about 8 million tons capacity is from mine under construction, which has no productions at the moment. Even though the total capacity reduction is over 1 billion ton per annum, which meet the target of the opinions, actual production is only reduced by 64 million ton per annum. The impact on China's overcapacity situation is very minimal. We believe the capacity reduction will be implemented without any difficulties. Let us examine the approved capacity and actual production on an overproducing mine. There is a saying in the China coal industry that a single mine, Taishan, is supporting the whole Datong coal mine growth. The approved capacity for Taishan mine is 15 million tons per annum, but the actual production is 24 million tons. That means it is overproducing by 60%. This is pretty normal in key state-owned mines. Based on our research, the actual capacity of those recently consolidated mines and private mines are normally thrice of their approved capacity. However, overcapacity do not reflect on the total production, as many zombie mines has been operating below their approved capacities due to losses. Here, we try to find out how the reduction on working day will change the coal productions. We start with the current total capacity and production rate from our database. We remove those reductions amount due to mine closure, which we obtained before. We then derived the results by 330, which is the current number of working days, and obtain the capacity and production values per day. We can now find out the reduced amount if we have 54 working days less. As shown in the table, capacity will further decrease by 747 million tons per year, while production will decrease by 594 million. That means the remaining capacity will be 3.815 billion tons per year, and production is 3.036 billion tons. Our forecast on remaining capacity is about 3.6 billion tons per annum after the elimination of 1 billion tons from those closed and semi-closed mines. If overproduction is strictly prohibited and the number of working days is reduced to 276, we forecast that the actual production will fall below 3 billion tons per annum. We assume the local governments will implement the opinion strictly in the early phase, which will cause productions to go down and price to go up. However, the strict control on productions is unlikely to last long. After the production raise, here we shall try to figure out how the production cost will be affected by the opinions. First of all, we will estimate the change in cost when state-owned enterprise expand their market share ratio while private companies are closing. We shall also estimate the increase on cost when the number of working days is reduced. We will make a forecast on the combined effect of these two and see how it will change the total production cost and competitiveness of China coal. Here we use our fund-wise capacities and cost database to obtain the shares between state-owned enterprise and private sector and their production costs before the opinions is issued. We estimate these values after the opinions and list them in this table. The production cost for state-owned enterprise is 37 yuan per ton higher than the private companies before the opinion and 60 yuan higher after. We forecast the capacity ratio between state-owned enterprise and private company will change from 72 versus 28% currently to 81 versus 19% as more private companies exit the market. As a result, we come to a conclusion that the overall production cost will go up by 11 yuan per ton. In order to calculate the effect on reducing number of working days per year, we break down the production cost for 2015, which is the 249.6 yuan per ton, into different components and estimate their new values if the number of working days is changed to 276. We conclude that the cost will go up by 17.3 yuan per ton. If we combine the effects from the previous two slides, the production cost will be increased by 28.3 RMB per ton. Taking other conditions into consideration, our forecast on 2016 coal production costs are as follows. Thermal coals cost will move up by 28.3 yuan per ton. For coking coal, cost will move up by 50 yuan per ton. When the opinions is pushed most intensively, the production cost will be at its peak, and hence the production cost will increase the most. However, this is not good for the competition and development of the industry, and it does not help the China's economy to recover. Such situation may cause corruptions and other disputes. We do not believe this period will last long. In these last sections, we shall review the historical relationship between the coal prices and the import volumes in China. We shall also forecast how the cost increase will affect the coal prices here. When the local coal prices change, it may be more attractive to import them from other countries such as Australia and Indonesia. We shall review the prices in 2015 and see how they might be affected after the opinions. We will do the comparison for both thermal and coking coal separately. Here are the price charts for thermal coal and coking coals in the last 7 years. We add the import volumes and see how they changed together. China thermal coal imports experienced the highest growth rate at 32.4% in year 2011 to 2012 when the price started to fall. Coking coal imports achieved the highest growth rate in year 2012 to 2013 at 40.8%, even though the prices has been falling from 2011. It is a general consensus that China's GDP will grow by 6.5 to 6.8% this year. If we take the correlation between GDP growth and coal demand, the new economic conditions and other environmental policies into consideration, we think the coal demand in China will grow from 0 to 2% this year. In certain periods this year, we believe short-term coal supplies will decrease by 15 to 17%, and coal production costs will increase by 15 to 17% as well. The combined effect will make coal prices to change as follows. Thermal coal will be up from 25 to 40 yuan per ton, and coking coal will go up by 45 to 60 yuan a ton. Here we do a comparative analysis on cost between the local and imported thermal coals in South China. We use typical 5,500 thermal coal from Xinhua, Australia and Indonesia. We also calculate the average cost for other China coals delivered into Guangzhou. In 2015, the costs for Xinhua, Australian and Indonesian coal are very similar. However, the cost for Xinhua's thermal coal will move up by 20 yuan after the opinions. Even though it might still be profitable, it is less competitive compared to the imported coal as their costs remain unchanged. This is a similar analysis on coking coal. Here we compare the typical Shanxi coal with Australian and the calculated China average delivered into Tangshan. The Shanxi coal was cheaper than the Australian in 2015, but the situation is reversed after the opinions as its costs go up by 25 yuan per ton. The China average moved up by 50 yuan and is totally unprofitable. For both thermal and coking coals, the import cargo become more cost-effective and they have more rooms for negotiation. Therefore, we expect the import volumes to go up this year. This is the end of my presentations, and thank you very much for your time. All informations and data used here are taken from our Opinions of the State Council on Resolving Coal Industry Overcapacity and its Market Impact Study report. If you are interested in this report or if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at the emails addressed here. Thank you and goodbye.